scheduled incarnation. So exams are over.
Yes, Mataji. So nice paper.
Conversation between Brahma and Narada. This is the chapter. The scheduled incarnation. About that, Brahma is going to give knowledge to Narada. Till now, Purush Sukta was spoken about the three Purushas, Karanadakshai, Garbhodakshai, and Shivadakshai Vishnu. Now let us see the specific functions for the scheduled incarnation. Brahmovacha. Verses we have in this chapter. We have total 53 verses in this chapter. Brahmovacha yatrodhyatah shriti talodharanaaya vibrata kraudim tanum sakala yagyamaim anantah antarmaharnava pagatam adidaityam tam drashtya tam damshtriyadrim iva vajradharo dadar brahmavacha yatrodhyatah shriti talodharanaaya bibrata kraudim tanum sakala yakyamaim antarmaharnava upagatam adidaityam tam damshtrayadrim iva vajradharo dadam. Now it starts from the boar incarnation. Brahma says, Yatra, at that time, Udyataha, attempted, Shititala, the planet Earth, Uddharanaya, for the matter of lifting, Bibrat, assumed, Kraudim, past tense, Tanu, form, Sakala, total, Yagyamayim, all-inclusive sacrifices, Ananta, the unlimited, Antar, within the universe, Maharanava, the great Garbha ocean, Upagatam, having arrived at Adi, the first Daityam, Deman, Tam, Im, Damshtraya, by the tusk, Adrim, the flying mountain, Iva, like Vajradhara, the controller of the thunderbolt. So what did Lord do? In the great ocean, he just strove to lift up the earth. So for that, Lord took the form of a boar. So it is said, Yagyamayim. Yagyamayim means he is a form of all the sacrifices. Varaha incarnation, very important incarnation, Varaha. He is Anantaha, he is unlimited. He is unlimited within this universe. And Maha-Arnava refers to the great Garbha ocean. So in this way, this is the first incarnation. And he pierced Hiranyaksha. How he pierced? With his damshtraya, with his tusk. This is the first demon which is killed. The first demon is Hiranyaksha. And the Lord pierced him with his tusk. And also, like how the Indra pierces a mountain with his thunderbolt, Adrim means the mountain with the thunderbolt, like how Indra does, in the same way, here, Lord has pierced. So you can see all the Yatra at that time, Shititala, this earthly planet. So Lord lifted, and the past tense started here. He is the Lord of all the sacrifices, unlimited. Maharanava in the Garbhodakshai, the Garbha ocean, Lord arrived and he killed the first demon. It is like how the controller of the thunderbolt, Vajradhara, who is Vajradhara? Indra. Like how Indra pierces the flying mountain, in the same way Lord pierced Hiranyaksha. So the avatars start with Varaha. And what is their activity? That is also been stated in this chapter. We have the activities of the avatars, vibhutis, and the devotees. So now Varaha has been, what is the work of Varaha? He lifted the earth. For that, he has to take the form of a boar. And to kill, naturally, he should have tusk. So when he has taken the form of the boar, he could dive also inside and lift the earth and kill the boar. Okay. Here, nice Jaydev Goswami's prayer is given. Vasati Dashana Shikare Dharani Tavalagna Shashini Kalanka Kaleva Nimatna Keshavadrita Shokar Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hare. Okay. Lavanya Mataji read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, that is class. Brahmavacha Yatrodayatah Shititaloddharnaya Viprat Kradim Tanum Sakalayagya Mayim Manantaha Antar Maharnava Upagatam Adidaityam Tam Damstrayadim Iva Vajratharo Dadara. Translation. Lord Brahma said, when the unlimitedly powerful Lord assumed the form of a boar as a pastime, just to lift the planet Earth, which was drowned in the great ocean of the universe called the Garbhodaka, the first demon, Hiranyaksh, appeared and the Lord pierced him with his tusk. Since the beginning of creation, the demons and the demigods, or the Vaishnavas, are always the two classes of living beings to dominate the planets of the universes. Lord Brahma is the first demigod, and Hiranyaksh is the first demon in this universe. Only under certain conditions do the planets float as weightless balls in the air. And as soon as these conditions are disturbed, the planets may fall down in the Garbhodaka ocean, which covers half the universe. The other half is the spherical dome within which the innumerable planetary systems exist. The floating of the planets in the weightless air is due to the inner constitution of the globes, and the modernized drilling of the earth to exploit oil from within is a sort of disturbance by the modern demons and can result in a greatly harmful reaction to the floating condition of the earth. A similar disturbance was created formerly by the demons headed by Hiranyaksh, the great exploiter of the gold rush. And the earth was detached from its weightless condition and fell down into the Garbhodaka ocean. The Lord, as maintainer of the whole creation of the material world, therefore assumed the gigantic form of a boar with a proportionate snout and picked up the earth from within the water of Garbhodaka. Sri Jayadeva Goswami, the great Vaishnava poet, sang as follows: Vasati dashana shikhare dharani tava lagna Shashini kalanka kalaiva nimagna Keshavadhrita shukara rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare. O Keshav, O Supreme Lord, who have assumed the form of a boar, O Lord, the planet Earth rested on your tusks, and it appeared like the moon engraved with spots. Such is the symptom of an incarnation of the Lord. The incarnation of the Lord is not the concocted idea of fanciful men who create an incarnation of it out of his imagination. The incarnation of the Lord appears under certain extraordinary circumstances, like the above mentioned occasion, and the incarnation performs a task which is not even imaginable by the tiny brain of mankind. The modern creators of the many cheap incarnations may take note of the factual incarnation of God as a gigantic boar with a suitable snout to carry the planet Earth. When the Lord appeared to pick up the earth, the demon of the name Hiranyaksh tried to create a disturbance in the methodical functions of the Lord, and therefore he was killed by being pierced by the Lord's tusk. According to Srila Gujiv Goswami, the demon Hiranyaksh was killed by the hand of the Lord. Therefore, his version is that after being killed by the hand of the Lord, the demon was pierced by the tusk. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur confirms this version. Hare Krishna.
Both the things has been done. One is lifting the Mother Earth and Bhulakshmi, and one is piercing the demon. Jato ruchir ajanayat suyamana suyagya akuti shunur amaranatha dakshinayam लोकत्रयस्य महतीमहर यदातिं स्वयंभुवेन मनुना हरि इत्यनुक्तः जातो ऋचेरजनयत् श्रूयमान सुयज्ञाम् आकूतिशूनोरमरान् अथ दक्षिणायाम् लोकत्रयस्य महतीम् अहरर्यत् आर्तिम् स्वायम्भुवेन मनुवा हरि इत्यनुक्तः. Now Jata was born. Ruche, the wife of Prajapati, Ajanayat gave birth, Suyamana, headed by Suyamana. Then Suyagya, Akuti Shunu, of the son of Akuti, Amaran, the demigods. Ataha, thus, Dakshinayam, unto the wife of the name Dakshina, Loka, the planetary system, Trayasya, of the three, Mahatim, very great, Aharat, diminished, yet all those, Artim, distresses, Swayam Vena, by the Manu named Swayam Bhuva. Manuna, by the father of mankind, Hari, iti, thus, Anuktaha, named. Now, Suyagya is the son of Akuti and Ruchi. The Lord Suyagya, he appears as the son of Akuti and Ruchi. He gave birth to the Devatas called Suyamanas in his wife Dakshina. The Lord called Suyagya, the son of Akuti and Ruchi, gave birth to the Devatas called Suyamas in his wife Dakshina. Suyagya's wife is Dakshina. Suyagya is the son of Akuti and Ruchi. And now Suyagya gave birth to Devatas. So now when he relieved the three worlds of great suffering, Swayambhuva named him Hari. So what is the purpose of Lord appearing Suyagya? To relieve the distress of the suffering people. Now the Prajapati first begot Suyagya. How? In the womb of his wife, Akuti. So Ruchi is the first Prajapati, Ruchi. The son of Akuti and Ruchi. Ruche hai Ajanayat gave Suyagya, Akuti Shunu, son of Akuti. So Ruchi is the wife actually. Now Akuti, but here it is given of his wife Akuti. Ruchi is the wife. No, Ruchi is husband. Let me confirm this. His mother was Akuti, the daughter of Swayam. Yes, Prajapati is Ruchi. Okay. Prajapati is Ruchi. Why it is written here like this? Of the wife of Prajapati. Prajapati is Ruchi. Understood? Prajapati is Ruchi. His wife is Akuti. They gave birth to Suyagya. Suyagya begot many demigods. The first demigod is Suyama from his wife Dakshin. Now Suyagya as Indradeva diminished very great miseries in the pre-planetary system. That is why his name is next Hari. Swayambhu Manu keeps his name as Hari. Hari means one who steals away or robs away all the miseries. Steals away the miseries or diminishes the misery. Okay. So Ruchi is the Prajapati. And his wife is Akuti. Okay.
Means name of Prajapati is Ruchi Mataji.
Ruchi, yeah. Because here of the wife Prajapati, that is why I was a little confused. Actually, Akuti is the mother. The Prajapati, Ruchi, first begot Suyagya in the womb of his wife Akuti. Okay, clear? Then Suyagya gave birth to Suyama and many demigods. And Suyagya, what he did, he was heading everyone. He's a father, no? And he practically destroyed all the trouble. So he became Indra actually. One of the posts which Indra is a post. Suyagya occupied this post. And Swayambhu Manu called him Hari. So he was named by Manu, his grandfather. Prajapatis are the sons of Manu, Swayambhu Manu. Swayambhu Manu gives birth to the Prajapatis. Prajapati Ruchi is one of the Prajapati. Prajapati's son is Suyagya. Suyagya's name is, that is why if you see the list of Manu's incarnation, Swayambhu Manu, you'll see Hari. If you see the list, you will find the name Hari. That which Hari is? He is Suyagya. His Lord, who is named as Suyagya, is also named as Hari. Okay? Every Manu, this Manvantara incarnation is there. Manvantara. I had given the list in between, if you remember. I had put the chart also. If you have that, Raksha Mataji, then put it again. Swayambhu Manu's list. Okay. Raksha Mataji, read this verse.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Jato ruchera janayata suyamana suyagya akuti sunurapana maranatha dakshinaya लोकत्रयस्य महती महरदाय दातिं स्वाय भुवेन मनुना हरिरित्यनुक्तः. Translation. The Prajapati first begot Suyagya in the womb of his wife Akuti, and then Suyagna begot demigods headed by Suyam in the womb of his wife Dakshina. Suyagna as the Indradev reminisced very great miseries in the three planetary systems, upper, lower and intermediate, and because he so diminished the miseries of the universe, he was later called Hari by the great father of mankind, namely Swayambhu Manu. Purport. In order to guard against the invention of unauthorized incarnation of God by the fanciful, less intelligent person, the name of the father of the bona fide incarnation is always mentioned in the authorized revealed scripture. No one therefore can be accepted as an incarnation of the Lord in his father's name, as well as the name of the village or place in which he appears, is not mentioned by the authorized scriptures. In the Bhagavad Purana, the name of the Kalki incarnation, which is to take place in almost 400,000 years, is mentioned along with the name of his father and the name of the village in which he will appear. A sane man therefore does not accept any cheap edition of an incarnation without reference to the authorized scriptures. Hare Krishna.
Father, mothers, and which village, everything has been given. That is why somebody says, "Na, I am incarnation." Their name should be there. Their father, mother name should be there. Village name also should be there. Or many people like to call themselves Bhagavan. Jagye Chakardam. Ye Chakardam Gruhedvija Devahutyam Sridhi Samam Navaviratmagatim Samatre Uche Ye Atma Shamalam Gulasangapankam Asmin Vidhuya Kapilasya Gatim Prapede. Not only we are going to Siddhapur. In this yatra we are going to Siddhapur. Siddhapur is the place where Kapil Muni gave knowledge of to Devahuti. Very important place is Siddhapur. It is also known as Matrugaya. It is in Gujarat. There, the Shraddha of mother is done. It is said there is only place where even girls can go and do Shraddha for their mothers. It is the place where Parashuram did atonement when he cut the head of his mother. He was asked to do that. So very important place, Siddhapur. Kapil Muni gives knowledge to Devahuti after Kardam Muni leaves Devahuti and goes for taking sannyas. Devahuti wants the knowledge. Kapil Muni gives Sankhya philosophy, the knowledge. Kapil Muni's Sankhya is the complete Sankhya. Krishna also gives Sankhya only. But 11 to 30th verse of second chapter is not a complete Sankhya, though the difference between body and soul has been given. But anyhow, later Krishna is going to speak about how he is the possessor of this body and the soul. But Kapil Muni's Sankhya is complete within that section itself. Krishna anyhow is going to speak. That is also theistic Sankhya only. But there is an impostor Kapil who gave atheistic Sankhya. We are talking about Kapil Muni, who is incarnation, who is a son. Again, see, whose son? That also is given. Now, what about Bor? Whose son? That's right. Not necessary that every time Krishna has to give. Matsya, whose son? Now, here, Kapila, son of Kardama and Devahuti. What is the purpose of his incarnation? He spoke to his mother self-realization. Jagya took birth also. Kardama, Prajapati, named Kardama. So again, see Swayambhu Manu's son, Kardama. Graha in the house of Dijao Brahmana. Devahutyam, in the womb of Devahuti. Stribi, by women. Samam, accompanied by Navabihi, by 9. Atmagatim, spiritual realization. Swamatriya, to his own mother. Uche, uttered. Yeah, by which Atma Shamalam, coverings of the spirit soul, Gunasana, associated with the modes of nature, Pankam, mud, Asmin, is very life, Dhuya, being washed off, Kapilasya, Lord Kapil, Katim, liberation, Prapede, Achi. Brahma is speaking to Narada. The Lord Kapila is born in the house of Kardama and Devi. How, along with his 9 sisters, after getting them married, all the 9 daughters to 9 rishis, Kardama leaves the house. Now here, in this way, he spoke about the spiritual knowledge to his mother. And in this way, just by hearing that, people of this world become purified. Purified of what? Purified of pankam, the mud of Gudasanga, the mud of material association. And this is contaminating the soul. Parope manute anartham. We had studied how Vyasa says, Parashakti, but anartham identifies with anartham. And in this way, people who read this Sankhya philosophy, they can attain the Kapilasya Gatim, the planet of Kapila in the spiritual world. That has been given. Okay. Read Bindu Namaste. Bindu is there? Bindu, read. Bindu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna. Pranam. Jagye Chakardamagrahe Dvijadehutyam Sribi Samam Navabhiratmagatim Swadmatre Ucheyatma Shamalam Gunasangapankam Asmin Vyudya Kapilasya Gatim Prapede. Translation. The Lord then appeared as the Kapila incarnation, being the son of the Prajapati, Brahmana, Kardama, and his wife Devahuti, along with 9 other women, sisters. He spoke to his mother about self-realization, by which, in that very lifetime, she became fully cleansed of the mud of the material modes and thereby achieved liberation, the path of Kapila. Purport. The instructions of Lord Kapila to his mother Devahuti are fully described in the 3rd canto, chapters 25 to 32 of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And anyone who follows the instructions can achieve the same liberation obtained by Devahuti. The Lord spoke Bhagavad Gita and thereby Arjuna achieved self-realization. And even today, anyone who follows the path of Arjuna can also attain the same benefit of Sri Arjuna. The scriptures are meant for this purpose. Foolish, unintelligent persons make their own interpretations by imagination and thus mislead their followers, causing them to remain in the dungeon of material existence. However, simply by following the instructions imparted by Lord Krishna or Lord Kapila, one can obtain the highest benefit even today. The word Atmagatim is significant in the sense of perfect knowledge of the Supreme. One should not be satisfied simply by knowing the qualitative equality of the Lord and the living being. One should know the Lord as much as can be known by our limited knowledge. It is impossible for Lord to be known perfectly as he is, even by such liberated persons as Shiva and Brahma. So what to speak of other demigods or men in this world? Still, by following the principles of the great devotees and the instructions available in the scriptures, one can know to a considerable extent the features of the Lord. His Lordship Kapila, the incarnation of the Lord, instructed his mother fully about the personal form of the Lord, and thereby she realized the personal form of the Lord and was able to achieve a place in the Vaikuntha Loka, where Lord Kapila predominates. Every incarnation of the Lord has his own abode in the spiritual sky. Therefore, Lord Kapila also has his separate Vaikuntha planet. The spiritual sky is not void. There are innumerable Vaikuntha planets, and in each of them, the Lord, by his innumerable expansions, predominates. And the pure devotees who are there also live in the same style as the Lord and his eternal associates. When the Lord descends personally or by his personal planetary expansions, such incarnations are called Amsha, Kala, Guna, Yuga, and Manvantara incarnations. And when the Lord's associates descend by the order of the Lord, such incarnations are called Shakta Avesha incarnations. But in all cases, all the incarnations are supported by the innumerable statements of the authorized scriptures and not by any imagination of some self-centered propagandists. Such incarnations of the Lord in either the above categories always declare the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be the ultimate truth. The impersonal conception of the Supreme Truth is just a process of negation of the form of the Lord from the mundane conception of the Supreme Truth. The living entities, by their very constitution, are spiritually as good as the Lord. And the only difference between them is that the Lord is always supreme and pure, without contamination by the modes of material nature, whereas the living entities are apt to be contaminated by association with the material modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. This contamination by the material modes can be washed off completely by knowledge, renunciation, and devotional service. Devotional service to the Lord is the ultimate issue, and therefore those who are directly engaged in the devotional service of the Lord not only acquire the necessary knowledge in spiritual science, but also attain detachment from material conception and are thus promoted to the kingdom of God by complete liberation, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 14.26 verse. Mamam choya vyabicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatitaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Even in the non-liberated stage, a living entity can be directly engaged in the transcendental loving service of the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, or his plenary expansions like Rama and Narsimha. Thus, with the proportionate improvement of such transcendental devotional service, the devotee makes definite progress towards Brahma Gatim or Atma Gatim and ultimately attains Kapilasya Gatim or the abode of the Lord without difficulty. The antiseptic potency of devotional service to the Lord is so great that it can neutralize the material infection even in the present life of a devotee. A devotee does not need to wait for his next birth for complete liberation. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Devotee need not wait for the next birth. What is in verse which says, Iha yasya haryardasye karmana manasa kidashati avastaso jivan muktasa uchyate. Always remember this verse. Somebody says, oh, liberation is only after death. Immediately you should quote from Nectar of Devotion. Bhakti Rasamrasa. Iha yasya haryardasye. In this world itself become Haridas. How? Karmana manasaha gira. By your activities, by your mind, by your body. Do everything for Krishna. Then Nikla Shapyavastasu Jivan Mukta Sauchate. In this birth itself, one is liberated. Next. Now, Atri. Dattatre. Atri apatyam abhikankshata ahutushto datto mayaham iti yad bhagavan sadattah yatpad pankaja parag pavitra deha yogadhimapu ubhayatim yadu hayadyaha yadu hayadyaha Atri. The sage Atri apatyam issue abhikankshata having prayed for aha said tushtaha being satisfied dattaha given over maya by me aham myself iti thus yet because Bhagavan the personality of God sah he dattaha dattatri yadpada one who speak pankaja lotus parag dust pavitra purified deha body yoga mystic riddhim opulence apu God ubhayam of for both the worlds Yadu the father of Yadu dynasty Haya Adya and others like King Haya. So about Dattatreya has been spoken. The Lord is very satisfied. And he told to Atri what he wanted. He had Abhikanksha. Abhikanksha means he had the desire to have a son. How? Like him. By me. I am very satisfied by you. Aham. You wanted a son like me, I'll give you. So then then he says, I'll give my son only to you. You want a son like me. There's nobody like me. Better is I only come to you. So that is how Lord says, I only will come to you and I'll be known as Datta, Daitaha, Daitya means Datta, Dattatreya, Bhagavan Dattatreya, Yadpada. Whoever serves the lotus feet of Dattatreya gets the dust, and in this way, the dust of his lotus feet purifies the body of all the mystics. They get the opulence to enjoy. They become perfect in their yoga system. They attain liberation. They enjoy in both the worlds. So Yadus like Hayas, they did this. So they got the grace of the Lord, the Tattvya. So it said, the mystic yogis, they pray the Tattvya. The purpose of the Tattvya is coming is what? Those who desire perfection in their yoga, they want liberation, and the Tattvya gives liberation. The Tattvya gives spiritual blessings as well as they obtain material blessings also. They get both the benefits, material as well as spiritual benefits. Especially those who are in the yoga path, they worship the Tattvya. That is how it has been given here. Because their yoga is been given. And these mystics, they attain even, they get the siddhis also. Riddhim here refers to all the opulence of the siddhis. At the same time, they attain liberation. Okay. The son is Atri. The father is Atri. Atri is Vishnu. Who is Atri's wife? Who is Atri's wife?
Anusuya. No, she's got an Russia.
Anusuya gave what to Sita ji?
She gave the jewelry.
She gave the dress which will never become.
Yeah, jewelry and dress,
Jewelry and the food.
which will not get dirty.
Okay. You read this verse. And then you read the verse.
Yes. Atrer apatyam abhikankshat ahatushto datto mayaham iti yad bhagwan sadattaha yad pada pankaja paraga pavitra deha yogadhim apur ubhayim yadu haya hayadaha. The great sage Atri prayed for offspring, and the Lord, being satisfied with him, promised to incarnate as Atri's son, Dattatreya. Datta, the son of Atri. And by the grace of the lotus feet of the Lord, many Yadus, Haihayas, etc., became so purified that they obtained both material and spiritual blessings. Purport: transcendental relations between the personality of Godhead and the living entities are eternally established in 5 different affectionate humors, which are known as Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. The sage Atri was related with the Lord in the affectionate Vatsalya humor, and therefore, as a result of his devotional perfection, he was inclined to have the personality of Godhead as his son. The Lord accepted his prayer, and he gave himself as the son of Atri. Such a relation of sonhood between the Lord and his pure devotees can be cited in many instances. And because the Lord is unlimited, he has an unlimited number of father devotees. Factually, the Lord is the father of all living entities, but out of transcendental affection and love between the Lord and his devotees, the Lord takes more pleasure in becoming the son of a devotee than in becoming one's father. The father actually serves the son, whereas the son only demands all sorts of services from the father. Therefore, a pure devotee who is always inclined to serve the Lord wants him as the son and not as the father. The Lord also accepts such service from the devotee, and thus the devotee becomes more than the Lord. The impersonalists desire to become one with the Supreme, but the devotees become more than the Lord, surpassing the desire of the greatest monist. Parents and other relatives of the Lord achieve all mystic opulences automatically because of their intimate relationship with the Lord. Such opulences include all details of material enjoyment, salvation, and mystic paths. Therefore, the devotee of the Lord does not seek them separately, wasting his valuable time in life. The valuable time of one's life must therefore be fully engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Then other desirable achievements are automatically gained. But even after obtaining such achievements, one should be on guard against the pitfall of offenses at the feet of the devotees. The vivid example is Haihaya, who achieved all such perfection in devotional service, but because of his offense at the feet of a devotee, was killed by Lord Parashuram. The Lord became the son of the great sage Atri and became known as Dattatreya. Hare Krishna.
Okay, last verse. Taptam tapo vividaloka shirkshayami adau sanat swatapasah sa chatu sanobu prakalpasamplava vinashtam ihatmatattvam samyak jagad munayo yat achakshatatman. Taptam, having undergone austerities. Now, about the 4 Kumaras has been spoken. Taptam, having undergone austerities. Tapa, finance. Vividha, loka, different practice systems. Shikshaya, desiring to create. Of mind. Adu, at first. Sanata, from the personality of God. Swatapasa, by dint of my own finances. He, the Lord. Chatu Sanaha, The four bachelors, Sarat Kumar, Sanak, Sanandan, Sanatan. Abhuta appeared, Prak, previous, Kalpaha, creation, Samplava, in the inundation, Minashtam, devastated, Iha, in this material world, Atma, the spirit, Tattvam, truth, Samyak, incomplete, Jagad, became manifested, Muneha, sages, Yat, that which, Achakshataha, saw clearly, Atman, the spirit. So now Brahmaji says, I underwent austerity. I did a lot of penance. Why? I wanted to create various planets in the beginning. So he continued for a long time. The Lord gave me 4 Kumaras. I had the desire of creation. So I wanted the sons who will create, but they became bachelors. Like you have son and you want the son to expand your family. And the son says, no, I want to become brahmachari. What happens? Father and mother, they sit and cry. So Brahmaji is also very disturbed. So then they taught knowledge. They explain in this day of Brahma, they explain this knowledge of the soul. Actually, it was lost in the previous day of Brahma. And these sages saw directly in their minds. So the knowledge which was lost during the night of Brahma, these sons gave this knowledge of the soul. That is why they have appeared. And this austerity was done in the beginning by Brahmaji. And it lasted for a long time. And it lasted for a long time for creating the world. The Lord gave 4 sanas. Sana means the 4 Kumaras. Sana. Sanak, Sanatan, Sanandan, Sanatma. And what is the meaning of Sana? Sana means to spread out. To give the knowledge, Lord has Sahasranama Stotra, Sanatan Tamah. So it is said in the Sahasranama Stotra, Lord is known as Sanatan Tamah. So Lord himself incarnates as 4 Kumaras to speak the spiritual knowledge which was lost during the devastation. What is the purpose? To speak the spiritual knowledge which was lost in the devastation of the previous kalpa. And they saw this knowledge within their mind. The Lord who is the source of all the realization. So it's nothing so wonderful that they are seeing the realization within the mind. Lord himself incarnates as 4 Kumaras. Okay. Lakshari?
Yes, Matthew. Shloka 5. Taptam tapo vividhalokasi shukshayame ado sanat swatapasa sachatu sanobhuta प्राकल्पसमप्लववनिष्ठ निहात्मतत्त्वं सम्यक् जगाद्मुनयो यदचक्षतात्मनः. Translation: to create different planetary system, I had to undergo austerities and penance. And the Lord, thus being pleased with me, incarnated in 4 sons, Sanak, Sanat Kumar, Sanandan, and Sanatan. In the previous creation, the spiritual truth was devastated, but the 4 sons explain it so nicely that the truth at once become clearly perceived by the sages. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai ho. The Vishnu Sahasranam prayers mentioned in the Lord's name is Sanat and Sanatana. The Lord and the living entities are both qualitatively Sanatan or eternal, but the Lord is Sanatan Tama or the eternal in the superlative degree. The living entities are positively Sanatan, but not superlatively, because the living entities are apt to fall to the atmosphere of non-eternity. Therefore, the living entities are quantitatively different from the superlative Sanatan, the Lord. The word San is also used in the sense of charity. Therefore, when everything is given up in charity unto the Lord reciprocates by giving himself unto the devotee. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.11. Ye yathama prapadyante. Brahmaji wanted to create the whole cosmic situation as it was in the previous millennium, and because in the last devastation, knowledge of the absolute truth was altogether erased from the universe, he desired that the same knowledge again be renovated. Otherwise, there would be no meaning in the creation. Because transcendental knowledge is the prime necessity, the every conditioned soul are given a chance for liberation in every millennium of creation. This mission of Brahmaji was fulfilled by the grace of the Lord when the four sons, namely Sanak, Sanat Kumar, Sanat, Sandan, and Sanatan, appear at his four sons. These four sons are incarnation of the knowledge of the Supreme Lord, and as such, they explain transcendental knowledge so explicitly that all the sages could at once assimilate this knowledge without the least difficulty. By following in the footsteps of the four Kumaras, one can at once see the Supreme Personality of Godhead within oneself. Hare Krishna, Mataji. That was pranam.
Yeah. So any doubts you can ask. What's your hand?
Mataji, may I? Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Mother.
Mataji, am I audible?
Yeah.
Mataji, in the previous verse, there's reference to Hai Hai. So there they are referring to Kartavir Arjun, Mataji, that he committed the Vaishnava Aparadh.
Where it is given? Yeah.
Like where it is said, the vivid
We have that.
example is Hai Hai. Fourth verse of Purport, Mataji, the last
Yeah, they
sentence.
come in the Karti
The vivid
Arjun.
example is Hai Hai, who achieved all such perfection in devotional service. And his aparadh was
Yes.
against Jamdagni Rishi. Jamdagni Rishi
It
and
is referring to
cow
Karti Arjuna only.
at the aparadh.
Yes, referring to Karti Arjuna, who did against Jamadagni. Afterwards, by the grace
Then
of Lord.
he was so nice, Mataji, that he achieved perfection.
No, this Yadu is different. Yadu is, these Hayas are now one of the community. Like Yadu is one of the community. In that Karti Arjuna, it's not one person. Hayas are one community. That is why it is
So-
a yes, could see. The vivid
Like
example
here-
is Haya, who achieved all perfection in devotional service. Because of his offense at the feet of a devotee was killed by Parashurama. So Karti Arjuna was killed by Arjuna, Parshuram.
Parashuram, yes.
Yeah. So one of them was, that is Karti Arjuna is Haya. Hayas has been given. It is one community.
So it's not that Kartavir Arjun had achieved perfection in devotional service. Others in the clan had achieved.
Why? Killed by Lord also, they also achieve perfection only.
No, I
Killed
was
by
thinking,
loved by Lord. Why they Hiranyakashipu also attained perfection? Hiranyaksha also attained perfection.
but they are
Shishupala
remembering
attained
their
perfection.
Lord in an unfavorable way. Mataji.
They remember Lord. That is why they are killed by Lord. It is to get even killed by Lord is also very auspicious.
Of course. But
So
when we talk about perfection, then we also refer that they
when
should
is the
remember the Lord
perfection?
in favorable.
Perfection to what extent? Like perfection for a yogi is liberation. Perfection for a devotee is service. There is different meanings. There is different relative term for this perfection. Like 25-liter bottle is also perfect. 50-liter bottle is also perfect. But when you compare, 50 liters is more than 25 liters. In the same way, every rasa is perfect. But Madhurya Rasa is a top course. They cannot fight with Hanuman. Hanuman will say, my Rasa is perfect in myself. One who wants liberation, they get liberation. So demonic tendency he had. Kartika. Now Hayas are the community in which one of them is Kartika.
Got it. Got it. Thank you, sir.
Chakra Dharuvya Shakti pass into the ocean.